Are we live? Are we oh, reporting live? We are live from Channel 5 News. I'm joking. So, I want to make a quick video because I have done some testing and I've already used some of this equipment in the field, but I thought it would be interesting to just give a little bit of behind the scenes and also some explanation of my strategy, because I'm a strategist, so there's always strategy even behind the fancy gadgets and widgets and toys and gear things that you may see. I'm always thinking multifunctional, I'm always thinking strategy, right? So I just wanted to make a video to show you what I've been working on for the past few years, just behind the scenes as I've been getting back into my AV roots and just getting things here and there, creating my setup, starting with the audio, and then I said, okay, one day I'm gonna get back into the video. And so when you combine both of those together, that is how my company, The Iconic Expressions, started off. That was its origins. We started off doing photography and video, and then moved into the digital world. But now with the era of AI, I believe, and this is my theory, and it's backed by some evidence of the data, of trends, of what's happening, but I do believe that the live experience is going to be one of those things that's going to be even pushed harder to the forefront for people to not have as much skepticism behind what they're seeing or even what they're hearing, right? Because now AI can replicate, it can manipulate, it can do all of that and more. So if we don't know a person is live or something is live, I believe we're going to be questioning that more. And that's why I think that video production is going to be more important than ever, but not just video production, the ability to be able to do live video production, and then be able to repurpose that and use that how you see fit. So that was my mentality, that was my strategy, because I use AI myself, and I'm sure you use AI yourself, and I even had to change some of the services in my business because it's all about pivoting. You don't last 5 to 10 years to 20 years without making some adjustments and some changes to the market. Sometimes you hold steady, sometimes you have to make a move. I promise you, this ain't time for you to hold steady if you're going against the AI grain. That's not the smart move. So what I've done is I've decided, again, over a time, right, over years, to add the AV production component part back into my business, because I know I need it personally for my own personal brand, and I'm sure my clients could use that as well too for their branding and their web or digital needs, right? So that's just give you some background on where that came from and why you probably, if you don't know, that's where I came from. That's my background. But at the same time, this is the reason why you're seeing what you're seeing, and it's not just because it's a phase or something like that, because we all have seasons, y'all, but that's not the main reason. So let me show you real quick why I've done what I've done, but let me show you what you're looking at. So right now you are listening to me. Well, I'm not sure what audio I'm going to use specifically, but I do have audio coming from the speakers, coming from this wireless mic here that's connected to my Rodecaster Pro 2. And the reason why I am a fan of the Rodecaster Pro 2 is because it is so universal, or the Rodecaster Duo, right? That's a cheaper version. But it's so multifunctional, it's so universal, there's so many things you can do with it. You don't have to use Rode products with it, but if you use Rode products with it, you get even more use cases, more scenarios that you would have to pay a lot of money, trust me, I know, you would have to pay a lot of money otherwise, because you didn't have this kind of seamless connection. It's kind of like Mac or Apple, for example. But like I said, you don't have to use Rode products with the Rodecaster Pro 2 or the Duo. I just recommend this for anybody that can afford the dinero or the netto, that can afford that money, because it is an investment, but it's a worthwhile investment, I promise you. But that's what you hear me coming from the speakers, right? So, and this is wireless, meaning you can pair this with your mixer, with your audio unit, and have wireless. I'm telling y'all, powerful for real. And the signal, the sound, the audio quality, the quality of the audio is creme de la creme. Is it the best of the best? No, but it's one of the best of the best for wireless mics. Absolutely. For the price, there's no better. Rode has the best mics, I will say, when it comes to the price point and the wireless, the multifunctionality of the mic. So that's what you hear me on right now, or you might hear me through the other transmitter. So this is one transmitter. Here's a second transmitter. Both these could be used to add, you can clip these on. So if I want to, I mean, I'm sure y'all seen this. This ain't nothing new, right? But that's why I like the versatility of it. This is just a cheap. This is not the official. This is not the official Rode one, but it's the same one, right? So and this is the other thing too. I only get knockoffs when it's something that is not how do I say? It's not highly important. Like the brand is not relevant to the functionality. Otherwise, I buy branded or brand-based gear for the most part. I trust more gear to have a brand behind it most of the time, but when it comes to certain other accessories and stuff, I don't care. I'll get the Amazon $15.99. I'll get that joint. It don't even matter. That's just my that's a part of my strategy, because you save more money doing it that way, meaning that if you buy everything off brand, you're gonna pay for that later. That's all I'm just trying to tell y'all. So these are the Rode wireless mics right here. And then you see this is a Feelworld. I could have got, a Neewer. That's another company that I rock with when it comes to a lot of the gear stuff. But this is just this is kind of off brand. I guess it's a brand, Feelworld, but this is just a very cheap monitor. I didn't want to go too heavy with the monitor because I felt like everything else was more important. But this is just a field monitor right here. That's hooked up to the camera via HDMI, but it's also hooked up to this battery pack right here. Now this battery pack is by Neewer. And what I like about this is, for y'all folks that are on the go, that are running gun, that just want more seamless. See, I'm not running gun with this for the most part, but I did want the ability to run and gun, and I also wanted something that was seamless. That was key. I wanted something that was seamless, meaning all I do is click this button, the battery comes off, just like that. Boom, boom. And then you see this, I can go up and down with this, just like that. And I'm connecting the camera to this, but I'm also connecting, for this camera, the A6700, I'm also connecting a fan. Why? Because these cameras, these mirrorless cameras and DSLRs, they can overheat sometimes. That's a problem with this camera, even though there's some things that they've helped to solve it. However, I don't like taking chances. So I learned that there's a fan, and it's a fan that does not need any type of power connected to it because it has a battery in it, so you can charge it up. However, if you just want to keep it on, I plugged it up to this battery. And this battery has USB-C, and it has USB-A, and it has a D-tap right here. That's what's connecting to the monitor. And then it has two DC outlets right here for 8 volts and 12 volts. So it's two DC outputs. So it's this 50 volt. This is a 50 volt, and there's a 100 volt. I just said, let me get the 50 for now, and then I'll climb my way up, right? But I thought that was very important because when you're on shooting, when you're on location, I should say, when you're shooting on location, that's a better way to say it, you don't want to run out of battery, right? Now you can buy extra batteries, you can do that, but to have this sucker right here, this puppy, to be able to take care of everything, and what I like about this is it actually has the power. So right now it's at 72, so I'm gonna learn how long I always test things in terms of I'll leave it on for the longest to see how long it takes the battery to drain. I like to do that so I know specifically how much time I have, right? So right now we're at 72%. I believe it started at 95 when I turned it on. It said 72. So again, it's powering the camera right now, and it's powering this. Now the monitor itself can have a battery pack, but for now I just wanted to test what it would be like just to have the battery pack here, but I will end up having a battery separately for the monitor. So that's that. That's the reason for that. In terms of these handles right here. So these are some SmallRig handles. That's another company. So I would say the main companies, because I had to do the thinking myself. Wow, there's a pattern. I have these different products, and they're all from top 5 or top 3 or top 10 companies, right? So SmallRig is a big one when it comes to the cameras and certain accessories for cameras. So right now you see there are two handles on the side. I did this because I wanted to build a rig. So I first bought a cage. there's a cage around the camera, one for protection and two for expansion. So you have protection of the camera itself, then you have expansion because you can add so many other things like you see now onto a DSLR or a wireless camera. So SmallRig right here, SmallRig is right here too. So if I wanted to, and I'll show you that in a second what that looks like, but SmallRig handles right here, and again, this is for grip. So if I want to hold it like this, like, you know what I'm saying, if I want to take it off and start doing my thing, it's just an easy way for you to grip. Now this is mainly for video. I would not use these when it comes to photography, especially on this side, because my shooting hand right here is going to be right here, and that's going to get in the way. So this is mainly for video, just to give you some insight on that. Then when it comes to the other mic scenario, this is a shotgun mic. So there are many different shotgun mic choices out there. Again, my mind is always strategy and multi-function. What can I do and how can I do it in multi-versatile ways? And we ain't talk about the Marvel multiverse. And I learned that there is one mic out that is a hybrid mic, and it reminds me of the RØDE RØDE Wireless Pros. These are just the regular ones, Gen 2s, but the Pros record in 32-bit. Now, why would I even bring up 32-bit? If you don't know anything about 32-bit float, to me, it's basically like recording raw audio or recording in 4K almost in a scenario. With 32-bit, basically, you can add a lot of audio into it or add very little audio as far as loudness. So you can have something that's super loud or super quiet. And because it's 32-bit float, not 24-bit or 16-bit, the 32-bit, I'm gonna nerd out with y'all, but I'm gonna be nerd out simple, okay? With a 32-bit, you have more room to make mistakes. So from this mic right here, it's turned on, and I'm gonna take it off here. I can just slide it out. Okay, so right now with this mic right here, this Comica VM40, it's wireless. So you can see it's wireless. Now I could add a wire to it and I could be connecting it directly to the camera, but I'm not doing that because I have the transmitter from this wireless mic connected to the camera. So anything audio that comes from this mic is going directly to the camera. Again, this mic right here, I got connected to the RØDEcaster. I'm recording on both. And what I like about these transmitters, if you don't know about the RØDE and other products that are basically wireless mics, one of the big features that they have now is they can record on the thing itself. So it's not only a mic, it's recording, it's a storage. It's storage, right? It's not just so it's a mic and it's transmitting a wireless signal and it's storing that directly on the unit itself, or it's storing it and passing. I'm telling y'all, it's crazy out here, but that's where we're at right now. So with this particular shotgun mic, this Comica VM40, this is a wireless mic that records at 32-bit float. So the great part about this is if I yell really, really loud or talk really, really, really soft, in the program, in post-editing, I can turn things up or I can push things down. I can turn things down and the data still retains. That's meaning that there's no clipping. There's no clipping. If I yell, when you usually record in 24-bit, and you ever yelled really, really loud, and then that data, it starts to sound distorted. Well, in post-editing, that data is usually, it's bad data. Like there's nothing else you can do with that. It's gone. It's finito, right? And so that's why it sounds like when you hear certain sounds, it sounds bad because yeah, it doesn't sound as loud, but it still sounds distorted. Well, that's because you're not recording in 32-bit float, and that's what this does. So that's why I got this, because it's wireless and it's 32-bit, and I can use it with it comes with a receiver as well too, and I can transmit wirelessly to the receiver, or I can connect this via the port here. I can connect this directly to the camera if I wanted to, and I can connect this to the computer. I can take anything that I'm recording right now on the mic. I'm going to use the USB-C port here, and then I can transfer that to the computer. So that's why I'm saying this is a multifunctional mic right here. You don't have to just use it on your camera. Say you want to put this in an area. That's why I like this mic, because you can use this for the environment. And it does come with a windscreen. I'm just not using it right now. But you can use it for the environment, meaning you can put this somewhere. You can put this by talent. You can also use it like this mic. I can use it just like I can put the thing on here, and I can use it like a handheld mic. Like I said, it's multifunctional. So this mic is dope. Normally with shotgun mics, you would have to have it connected to the camera to get the audio. This mic records internally. Like I said, it records 32-bit float, but it also has 32 gigabytes of storage directly on the mic. I know this is not a sponsored video, nothing like that. I just want to give y'all like my thought process behind the stuff that I'm using, all right? I wish it was a lot easier to put this thing on, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not hard, but it's just a lot easier. All right. So that's why you see there a shotgun mic here, and that is this mic. And then this is the gain knob here, but the gain knob is not needed. Normally you would have to use the gain so you can control the input of the audio going into the mic. The gain knob is not even needed when you're recording in 32-bit because it's recording in such high range of audio, not frequency, but just a lot of audio that you don't even need to set the gain, which is so dope. So that's what this is for right here. And then in terms of light, I got a couple pair of these LEDs, right, wireless, right here, and these were by Neewer. So Neewer is one. Neewer, like I said, made the battery. Neewer also makes the lights. Neewer made this really dope tripod. Neewer made this tripod is right here too. SmallRig did the cage and the handles right here. Like I said, I would normally get a Neewer monitor, but I was like, I don't need to do all that. Let's do it extra. What I like about this light right here is it has all these different modes, so I can turn it up really. It can get pretty bright. Like it can get pretty bright, right? And then not only that, I can change the temperature. Right? I was in daylight. So that's 2,500 Kelvin. And then we're gonna go up to, let's see how much it goes up to, what Kelvin it goes up to. 8,500 Kelvin, right there, right? So yellow to really white. And then we go around to 50, we'll say daylight, 56, 5700 Kelvin. I like this. And it's also magnetic, so you can toss this on something, like right now the phone is on a, what are they called? It's on a magnet right now. But you can toss on the magnet. That's really bright. Whew, that's bright. That's bright. That's a little too bright for my liking. So that is the Neewer light, and that's why I like the SmallRig thing, because I can easily just put this on. I didn't even think that it had all these abilities for the cold shoe mounts. Like, that's crazy. And then it has its own little thing right here too. It's just little simple stuff like that, y'all. And then, like I said, if there's a magnet on the wall, just pop it on the wall and it will just stick. It's just dope. So that's that right there. So we talked about here the wireless mics here, this battery pack, the cage, and then these side handles also as well. Let me show you real quick. Let's see, should I do this? Should I take this off the thing or what? I guess we can. All right, cool. So let's take that off real quick, and then I'm gonna toss this. So another really good thing, is this base plate. So this was the base plate that I had to learn that it gives you the versatility to easily take this off. It's an arc tight base plate, and basically, see that? I can slide this right here, and then if I obviously the wires wouldn't be plugged in, right? So if I said boom boom, and then if I really want to, I can replace this monitor with my phone or an iPad. And then because this A6700 is a Sony camera, and Sony has an app, the Creators app has a couple apps, but one of those that are compatible with this camera is the Creators app. I could be using my phone or my iPad as the monitor instead. I just don't want to do that right now. I think it's smarter to have a dedicated monitor. I was going to go that route at first, trying to use my phone, but I learned that lesson a long time ago, not to do that, because there's just so many different other points of failure that can happen. Your phone is not meant to be that, even though it can be that. Your iPad is not meant to be that, even though it can be that. But that's why I got this, because it's just so easy to just kind of go on and off. And then all I gotta do is slide it. See, y'all just saw that fall off. Now this thing, I was told that you definitely want to get some type of rubber band, because it just falls off real fast. You know what I'm saying? The thing, now it sticks in there. See how, which is kind of dope. But it can fall off pretty easily. But yeah, that's wireless as well too. And if I do this right, it should easily be able to slide on, and then I can just lock it. Boom, locked it. So if I lock it, look. Oh, see, look, nope, I didn't lock it. Did I lock it? Hold on, let me make sure I lock it. Hold on. It's interesting. Locking it is pushing this it's a little pin here. It's going out, if I'm not mistaken. All right, now it's locked. See? So it ain't gonna fall. There's little things like that that make a huge difference. right? It's not gonna, like, it ain't gonna fall. So it's locked. I don't even have it locked here. I only have the front thing locked, and I don't even have it secured in terms of using this screw to then, so watch, I twisted this, now it's secure. No more moving back and forth. So if I wanted to get out, I click, I untwist, and then I unlock. Boom. This is my first time I'm doing it like this. Oh, look, in. Yep, got it. And then boom, it should come out just like that. Kind of dope. So let me put it in. Let's get it. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to see if I can feel it with my hand without even having to look, but that's probably not smart. Boom, locked. And now we're back in there. So there we go. And then like this folds up and down. Battery. It's at 66% right now. And there we go. So this is the setup. This is basically, I don't know what I did right there. Let's go back to mode. Oh, let's go back to HDMI. Okay. Let's go. Yep, there we go. I think it's something on the camera. That's what it was. All right, there we go. So let me get this back on here. I don't know what I did. That is the setup. That is the AV. This is the camera rig that has audio and video, obviously, because it's a camera. But audio and video. And you can see that there's a battery pack. We have lights. We have multiple audio sources. So we have the audio source coming from the wireless mics here, however they're being used. We have the shotgun mic as well here too. And then to be able to monitor everything, I can plug the headphones directly into the monitor, right, to the audio monitor. Plug the headphones to the monitor, or I can plug the headphones to the camera. I prefer to plug it to the monitor because it does get cramped right here. Like, it gets pretty cramped right here. And plug that back up for USB-C. What I didn't notice about the camera, if for those of y'all who are going to pick up some type of camera like this, it doesn't charge it, but it keeps it from dying. So like wherever you're at, it'll just stay there. That's what I've noticed. No matter what battery pack or how much power I pump into it, as far as I know, I don't know if this is a A6700 thing, if this is a Sony thing, if this is just a mirrorless to camera thing, but I did know it doesn't charge it, but it will keep it from dying, from going down. So if you have a wireless battery, I mean, if you have a battery, because I was gonna say, I said wireless. I usually use dummy batteries when I'm using this as a webcam, you know, for streaming purposes. So that way I don't need to keep thinking about recharging this. But if you are using the regular battery that comes with it, you just need to keep that in mind. That keep it charged. Keep it charged, like charge it up before you put it in it, and then that way if you stick another battery to it, it just keeps it at the 100 or the 85 or whatever you're at. You don't want to put 20 in here, 20%er. The next thing you know, you're pumping juice out of here, but you're always on 20, and then when this runs out, you're going down from 20. So just things to think about. Again, I like about this tripod is it's it can turn to it's a monopod too, so it can turn to a monopod as well. Fluid head, very smooth head, you know, just kind of thing that you would want as well in terms of moving things, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, this is the setup, and this is basically me getting back to the roots, but infusing this into the other services that I do, but also for my own creative needs, my own personal branding needs, and just my own personal needs in general. So hopefully this was helpful for somebody. All right, peace.